Greetings, dearest and most esteemed viewer. No more funking about. That's right, no guitar in my hand. I just simply come to you with this message. All right, well, I'll do one wind chime. For mankind to survive, for mankind to ascend, for the new earth to be realized, for all of humanity, the current state of religion must come to an end. A reformation is strongly needed. Now, if there is any sort of ambition that I have for these videos that I post, is that perhaps in the comments section people will be able to discuss these topics, and you can already kind of see that shaping up. There's been accusations of heresy towards some of the videos I've put forth. There's been a lot of sort of pushback with narratives. And essentially the way I view it is there is an old paradigm of control, of organized religion, that is invested in keeping the flock at a certain level of knowledge, dumbed down, dependent upon the power structures, looking outward always, never within, as their own source of deliverance. And so my desire with this channel is that perhaps it sends a message to that lone person out there struggling somehow with whatever it is they're struggling in this illusion of this world of harmonic universe number one of the third dimension. Perhaps they're the lone wolf or the lone person within their family unit, family structure, and they are seeking to rise in vibration, but there's things that have their claws, that have their Draco-reptilian claws firmly enmeshed in their light body, keeping them down, keeping their vibrations down, low vibrations, dense vibrations, low, in this harmonic universe number one of dimension 3. Telling them that no, you know, just keep watching the news, you know, man, we got to be really worried and scared about what's taking place over in the Middle East, you know, it's Armageddon, it's the end of days. That's the old paradigm. That's the people that have an investment in keeping things the way they are. But see, this golden age, this new age, the Satyuga, the new earth, the new Jerusalem, this age of disclosure, what have you, is about self-empowerment, about sovereignty within each and every one of us, being our own king, our own priest, our own queen, our own priestess, but essentially reclaiming our divinity. And let no one fool you. You are divine. You see, dear esteemed viewer, apocalypse means revealing. And it is the revealing of the Christ within. The Christ consciousness within. And the final battle of Armageddon, it takes place within us. This is an inner war, a war within. A war that is meant to transform us and bring us back to the recovery of the quality of mind, the Christ consciousness. And now this is the accurate and true meaning of the second coming, the return of the Christ. This is the true meaning. And the political struggles that are taking place in the world stage and all that drama on your local news, Mockingbird News, that all mirrors within, the struggle within each of us. As we struggle within our own path of transformation, our own path of ascension. And as each one of us, I think right now, I mean, I've seen different figures. There's very few, one in 10,000. And then in the entire population of the world, maybe 5,000 people. I don't know, but it's a numbers game for sure. But the point is, with the 100th monkey effect, with the tipping of the ratio of awake versus non-awake, all that. But each person that can reclaim their own power, as they recover, as one more person recovers, then the earth as a whole will recover, will rise in dimension. And that's happening anyways, regardless. But if anything, the desire for this channel is to help each person on their path of recovery. And it goes beyond recovery of whatever, if it's addictions or any of that. But we all have an attachment, an addiction to our emotions as well. And we need to put that into perspective and rise beyond the dimensions of absolute right or wrong, good and evil. But all of this is meant to recover, to bring as many people as possible to the new earth, to the new Jerusalem, to the golden age of enlightenment, heaven on earth, God's kingdom spread out before us, the fifth dimensional quantum empire for which we are preparing. And this world of the Yahuna Gaia, the redeemed earth, which resides, already exists in the divine diamond of the fifth dimensional octave, the higher vibrational earth. It's a much brighter, much lighter, light-penetrated world than this current earthly dimension of the fallen planet. But it is my sincere hope that we understand the symbolism, and we understand that disclosure not only entails things that have been kept hidden as far as like what our governments have kind of kept, but it also involves religion. And for example, in the book of Revelations, that has been erroneously and purposely taught a certain way to people that has got them all worried about and upset and in fear, low density vibrations about what's taking place on the world stage. And it's causing people to divide and further divide. And then it's doing it in the name of religion. Okay? But the book of Revelations, the seven churches of Asia. Asia, in this instance, is representative of enlightenment. The seven churches, the letter that was written by John to the seven churches of Asia, all of this has been misrepresented and taught wrongly, erroneously, to keep people in subjugation and mental shackles, mental imprisonment. The seven churches of Revelation are conterminous with the seven energy centers, the seven thought clusters, the chakras, the seven lamps, the seven candlesticks, seven stars of the Pleiades. That is where Yeshua, where his higher dimensional self came from. Yeshua, Jesus, son of Zeus, Enki, even Lucifer, the Lightbringer. All of these are representative and symbolic of the light of consciousness within you, within your own self-empowerment, your own sovereignty. You are the church. Your mind is the temple. And you will see, as this message that I continue to put forth, as it gets more exposure, there seem to be more subscribers, but my message is not unique. There's plenty of great information on YouTube, but perhaps the context of the message, since I have a very strong Catholic background and was raised in that sort of regimented way, I still do have very non-authoritative, non-authoritarian reactions to people that try to come along and, say, oh, heresy, or, or kind of try to insult me or insult my intelligence or my own sovereignty. So, but my tendency is to push back against that and attack organized religion. But I will tell you this, dear esteemed viewer, for mankind to ascend, to evolve on this planet, religion as we know it must be done away with. It must be done away with. And if anything, perhaps this message, this channel, these videos will create a dialogue in the comment section, and you will see the people that their arguments and their accusations are very simplistic. It's the same old stuff. It's meant to disempower. They call you heretic, or they want to argue with you about fine points of doctrine or what have you. But essentially, it's keeping you at a certain level of vibration, lower density vibration, constantly looking outside of yourself, wanting to participate in this great war that's perhaps going to take place. But no, the Christ takes the middle path, and it's the polarity, the positive, the negative. We were not designed to hate. We were designed as divinely envisioned genetic vehicles for our consciousness, for the expansion of consciousness. That is my belief. There are those who believe our souls have been imprisoned here, and in some ways they have, but there's been a lot of hijacking of the way this was all supposed to take place. But I believe that each one of us has our own path, and our own path to figure things out, and it ultimately comes down to your vibration, your frequency. And what I believe is right for me is not necessarily what is right for another person. And the source of all that is not interested in having uniformity of the sameness. That is not what we were sent out forth as sparks, fractals of source. It is to investigate, it is to learn, it is to expand. So I just want to, I'll wrap up with this. Whenever I'm quoting biblical scripture and talking about lawlessness and, immorality and such, that is up for each person to decide what is right for them. I know that I was living a certain way that ultimately it was conflicted within. And so when I went through my process of ascension, I had to come to terms with all that, wrapping up karmic, entanglements, if you will, quantum entanglements. So I am not personally coming off as some sort of moralist, ethical. I don't write your book of morality. I don't write the table of values for you. I don't push forth whatever commandments. That is the old paradigm, the age of Pisces, the age of Aquarius. We are our own priest, priestess, kings and queens. We are our own self-empowered, divinely executed, realized, designed entities. And it is my sincerest wish that if there's anybody out there trying to figure things out, that perhaps any of these videos will mean that, yeah, your voice deserves to be heard, and most certainly heard by yourself. Everything begins with self-love, and that is where compassion is born from, and that is where the world is risen in vibration, and ultimately the new Jerusalem, the new heaven upon earth is realized. Namaste, namaskaram.